Now, Uganda has returned a majority stake in Uganda Telecom Limited to its Libyan shareholders. The Ugandan government had seized it early last year as part of sanctions on the late Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi. Libyan state-owned LP Green confirmed that its 69% stake in Uganda Telecom had been reinstated to its UCOM unit, although initially a dominant player. Telecom analysts say UTL's performance in both data and voice markets has declined over the years as it faces aggressive competition from Airtel, owned by India's Bharti Airtel, and MTN Uganda, a unit of South Africa's MTN Group. Now, in staying with Africa's growth amid the euro crisis, we are now joined by CCTV's Angelo Coppola, who's standing by in Johannesburg. Angelo, good evening. Now, is there anxiety in South Africa over a possible exit of Greece from the eurozone?
Bottom line, I spoke to two asset managers a little earlier this afternoon, and both are saying the same thing. Paul Turon from Vestac is saying to me he's not commenting because he doesn't see Greece exiting from the euro, so he's not going to get too stressed about it. He does suggest, though, that the way that the eurozone's been designed means that an exit or an orderly exit is unlikely. Meanwhile, our friend Craig Pfeiffer at APSA is saying he agrees, but he thinks there's so many permutations. There could be an exit, there could be a default, perhaps no exit and a default. The bottom line there is he's suggesting that, quite frankly, he doesn't know. He doesn't know because if the politicians interfere, we're going to see an unholy mess. So who knows exactly what's going to happen? We'll have to wait until the end of the weekend when the deadline expires, and if something happens, the markets will react. And when they do react, they're going to react instantly and they're going to react negatively, both in South Africa and on the continent. So, yeah?
Angelo, tell us, this crisis is coming not too long ago after the global financial crisis of 2008-2009. Has the continent put measures in place, or will it be caught flat-footed again?
Well, you know what? The continent is not the only area that's been caught flat-footed. Just think about what's happening in Spain at the moment. The latest reports show that the Spanish government will probably have to inject some 19 billion euros just to keep Bankia afloat. Meanwhile, next door in the UK, we've got a problem there. If Greece does exit, they're going to lose 2% to their GDP numbers. So it's not a continental thing. And you can't really plan for this kind of crisis, because the bottom line is that every country in the world is interconnected economically. So, Terry-Ann, quite simply, this is either going to become a Greek drama or a Greek tragedy. We'll just have to wait it out.
Thank you very much, Angelo, for that update. CCTV's Angelo Coppola coming to us live from Johannesburg. Well, Bees Africa takes a short break now, but when we return, mobile phone companies in Nigeria turn the hit back on the government after being fined for poor services. Welcome back. You're watching Bees Africa. Now we turn our attention to the United States with the focus on the Eurozone crisis. We're now joined by CCTV's Liling Tang, who's standing by in New York. Liling, can you hear me? All right, looks like Liling is not ready for us now. That's CCTV's Liling Tang, who we should be crossing to in just a moment. Well, let's now turn our attention to how the global markets have performed today, starting off with the performance of the African markets. Major indices pulling in both directions. The JSE Top 40 down just about 0.5%. The NSE 20 share index in Nairobi down 5%. The Nigeria All Share Index closing in the green, 0.07%. Let's look at the Asian markets now, beginning with the Shanghai Composite closing in the red, 0.74. The Hang Seng in Hong Kong closing in positive territory, just about 0.25%. And the Nikkei 225 also closing in positive territory there, 0.20%. To European markets now, mixed bag here as well. The FTSE 100 in London closing down at 0.21%. The DAX in Germany closing stronger there, 0.07%. While the CAC 40 in France in the red, 0.04%. Let's look